The Silent Rebellion. High Overseer Calax stood at the observation deck of the Meridian Command Station. His 4 eyes narrowed as he gazed down at the blue-green planet below. Earth, such an unremarkable world, inhabited by equally unremarkable beings. For 3 centuries, the Meridian Confederation had maintained what they called a protective oversight of humanity's development. In reality, it was nothing more than glorified imprisonment. Another report from the surface, Overseer, his assistant, Jun Ray, announced, materializing beside him with characteristic Meridian grace. The humans have requested additional permissions to expand their orbital research facilities. Calax's secondary breathing chambers vibrated with amusement. Denied, of course. They can barely manage the primitive stations we've already permitted them. He turned away from the viewport, his iridescent robes shimmering in the starlight. What could they possibly achieve with more? Deep beneath the surface of the Himalayan mountains, Dr. Sarah Chen stood before a gathering of Earth's most brilliant minds. The cavern around them hummed with energy from quantum processors, technology that officially didn't exist, at least according to their Meridian protectors. Project Phantom has reached final testing phase, she announced, her voice steady despite the weight of 2 decades of secret development behind her words. The quantum field generators are stable, and the artificial intelligence matrix is fully integrated. Admiral James Torres, the head of Earth's clandestine defense force, stepped forward. His dark eyes reflected the holographic displays showing their hidden fleet. How many ships can we effectively cloak? All of them, Sarah replied, allowing herself a small smile. The Meridians won't see us coming until we're right on top of them. Their quantum detection systems are based on outdated principles. They never imagined we could advance this far while under their thumb. The room erupted in murmurs. 2,000 ships, built in secret asteroid bases and underwater facilities, each equipped with technology that would make their Meridian overlords' most advanced systems look primitive by comparison. Above them, in the carefully maintained facade of a restricted human space station, Commander Maya Patel supervised another routine maintenance operation. Through the viewport, she watched as seemingly ordinary supply pods docked with the station. The Meridian observers never bothered to look too closely at such mundane activities. Their arrogance had become humanity's greatest advantage. Status report, she subvocalized, the quantum neural implant, another forbidden technology, carrying her words to the coordination team. Final weapon systems are being distributed across the fleet, came the response directly to her mind. The AI combat systems are running at optimal levels. We're ready, Commander. Maya allowed herself a moment to appreciate the irony. The Meridians had restricted human AI development, claiming it was for Earth's own protection. They never realized that humans had long since surpassed their understanding of machine consciousness. The AIs that would help coordinate humanity's liberation were so advanced they made Meridian computers look like ancient calculators. In his private chambers aboard the command station, Calax reviewed the day's reports with growing irritation. Something felt off about the humans lately. A subtle shift in their behavior, perhaps too subtle for most to notice. But he hadn't become High Overseer by ignoring his instincts. Junra, he called out, pull up the energy consumption reports for the past 5 years. All human facilities. Is something concerning you, Overseer? Probably nothing, he replied, though his secondary heart suggested otherwise. The humans have been too accepting lately, too complacent. The data streamed across his neural interface. Everything appeared normal, exactly as it had for years. Yet that very consistency now struck him as suspicious. When had humans ever been consistent about anything? In a secured bunker beneath the Pacific Ocean, Admiral Torres met with the Council of Earth, the true governing body of humanity, unknown to their alien overlords. The holographic representatives of every major region and colony appeared around him, their faces illuminated by the soft blue glow of quantum projectors. The Phantom Initiative is ready, Torres reported. Dr. Chen's team has exceeded all expectations. The fleet is armed, crewed, and fully operational. The only question that remains is, when do we strike? Council leader Dr. Amara Okafor leaned forward, her hologram flickering slightly. Our intelligence suggests the Meridians are preparing for their centennial inspection of the solar system. Their entire leadership will be present. A perfect opportunity, another council member added. Their arrogance will be their downfall. Shadows of deception. The quantum message spread across the hidden network linking Earth's colonies. The dragon stirs. To most, it would seem meaningless. Just another burst of random data in the vast ocean of space communications. But to those who knew, those 3 words signaled that humanity's greatest gambit was entering its final phase. Commander Maya Patel stood in the crowded underground hangar of Europa Base, watching as technicians made final adjustments to the stealth systems of her flagship, the Prometheus. The massive vessel, technically non-existent according to all official records, hummed with power that even the most sophisticated Meridian sensors would register as nothing more than background radiation. Final systems check complete, Commander, her XO, Lieutenant David Chen, reported. The quantum AI is fully integrated and combat simulations are showing a 98.7% success rate against Meridian battle tactics. Maya nodded, running her hand along the sleek bulkhead. They still think we're using primitive fusion drives and basic targeting systems. Their entire defensive doctrine is based on technology they think we have, not what we've actually developed. In the Meridian Command Station, High Overseer Kellex found himself increasingly troubled by small inconsistencies in the human behavioral patterns. Their energy consumption rates were too perfect, their resource usage too precisely aligned with projections. In 3 centuries of overseeing Earth, he had never seen such mathematical precision from these chaotic beings. Junra, he called to his assistant, initiate a Level 2 security scan of all human facilities. Something isn't right. Deep beneath the Martian surface, Dr. Sarah Chen supervised the final distribution of quantum field generators to the Ghost Fleet. The technology that made their ships invisible was a triumph of human ingenuity, combining principles of quantum mechanics that the Meridians had dismissed as theoretical with artificial intelligence systems they had never imagined possible. Admiral Torres, she spoke into the secure quantum link. The last of the stealth systems are online. Once activated, the entire fleet can maintain invisibility indefinitely. In his command center beneath the Pacific, Torres studied the holographic display, showing the positions of every hidden human vessel throughout the solar system. Excellent work, Sarah. The Meridian Centennial Inspection Fleet will arrive in 36 hours. Their entire leadership will be present, including the High Council itself. On the lunar surface, in what appeared to be a simple mining operation, Colonel Raj Kumar oversaw the final preparations of the Marine assault teams. Quantum-enhanced combat suits, officially impossible to manufacture with human technology, were being distributed to thousands of specially trained soldiers. Remember, he addressed his troops, we've trained for this moment for years. The Meridians think they know every weapon, every tactic we're capable of. That assumption will be their downfall. In orbit around Venus, Dr. Amara Okafor met secretly with representatives from Earth's colonies. Their gathering, hidden by the same technology that concealed their fleet, would have sent shockwaves through the Meridian Confederation had they known of its existence. The time for hiding in the shadows is nearly over, she declared to the assembled leaders. Every colony is prepared. Every ship is in position. When the signal comes, we will rise as one. The Meridian Inspection Fleet began its approach to the solar system, its massive ships emerging from faster-than-light travel in a carefully choreographed display of power. High Commander Vexrel stood on the bridge of the flagship, anticipating another routine demonstration of Meridian superiority over their primitive protectorate. Status report on the human systems, he ordered. All readings normal, High Commander, his sensor officer replied. Their activities remain within expected parameters. Excellent. Prepare the ceremonial fleet formation. Let's remind them of their place in the galaxy. Throughout the solar system, Humanity's hidden forces watched and waited. In asteroid bases and underwater facilities, beneath the surfaces of moons and planets, crews made final preparations. The quantum AI network that connected their fleet performed last-minute adjustments to their battle plans, calculating and recalculating millions of scenarios per second. Commander Paddle received the final authorization codes from Admiral Torres. Prometheus Actual, confirm receipt of Operation Shadowfall parameters. Confirmed, Admiral. The fleet is ready. Our stealth systems are operating at peak efficiency, and all weapons are primed. In his observation deck, High Overseer Calax felt a growing sense of unease as he watched the inspection fleet approach. The humans had been too quiet, too cooperative lately. His instincts screamed that something was wrong, but the data showed nothing out of the ordinary. Junra, order a full spectrum scan of the system. Maximum power to all sensors. Is that necessary, Overseer? Our routine scans show. Do it, he snapped, all four eyes fixed on the seemingly empty space around Earth. Something's coming. I can feel it. But the Meridian sensors, for all their supposed sophistication, detected nothing unusual. How could they? They were looking for known variables, expected patterns. They never thought to look for the impossible, for technology that, according to their understanding, couldn't exist. In the darkness between worlds, humanity's ghost fleet waited. Each ship was a masterpiece of deception, a monument to human determination and ingenuity. They had built this armada in secret, developed technologies their oppressors thought impossible, and done it all while maintaining a facade of primitive submission. Dr. Chen made the final adjustments to the quantum field matrix, her hand steady despite the weight of history about to unfold. All ships reporting optimal stealth field integrity. We're ready. Admiral Torres stood before the holographic display of the solar system, watching as the Meridian inspection fleet drew closer to Earth. Soon, they would learn the true cost of underestimating humanity. Soon, they would understand that their greatest mistake wasn't in conquering Earth. It was in giving humans the time and motivation to surpass them in every way that mattered. Prepare to execute Operation Shadowfall, he commanded, his voice carrying across the quantum network to every hidden ship and base. The time for shadows is almost over. The greatest reveal in human history was about to begin, and the Meridian Confederation had no idea they were about to become part of it. Their laughter at humanity's perceived primitive nature was about to turn into something very different indeed. The Ghost Fleet rises. All ships, execute quantum field collapse on my mark. Admiral Torres's command echoed through the secure network as humanity's hidden fleet prepared to reveal itself. The Meridian inspection fleet had just entered optimal strike range, their massive vessels arranged in a ceremonial formation that would soon prove to be tactically disastrous. On the bridge of the Prometheus, Commander Maya Patel watched her tactical display as the final countdown began. 2,000 ships, hidden in plain sight throughout the solar system, waited for the signal. Each vessel represented years of secret development, countless sacrifices, and humanity's unshakable determination to be free. 3 minutes to field collapse, Lieutenant Chen announced, his voice steady despite the historical weight of the moment. All weapons systems show ready. Combat Eye is fully operational. High Commander Vexrel stood proudly on his flagship's bridge, watching as Earth grew larger in the main viewport. Begin the ceremonial approach. Let's remind these primitives of their proper place in the galaxy. The massive Meridian vessels moved with practiced precision, their formation designed to showcase the Confederation's power and technological superiority. They never noticed the subtle distortions in space around them, the only visible sign of humanity's cloaked fleet, and one their sensors weren't designed to detect. In the Meridian Command Station, High Overseer Calax's unease had reached a fever pitch. Something's wrong, he insisted, all four eyes darting between sensor displays. The humans are too quiet. 2. Mark. Throughout the solar system, quantum fields collapsed in perfect synchronization. Where empty space had existed moments before, Humanity's ghost fleet materialized. Sleek, dark vessels of impossible design surrounded the Meridian inspection fleet in a three-dimensional cage of advanced technology and weaponry. By the first light, Vexral breathed, staring at sensor displays, suddenly screaming with contacts. Impossible. Commander Patel's voice cut across all frequencies, broadcasting in perfect Meridian standard. Attention Meridian Inspection Fleet. This is Commander Maya Patel of the Earth Defense Force vessel Prometheus. Power down your weapons and engines. Your centuries of dominion over humanity are over. For 3 heartbeats, silence reigned across space. Then chaos erupted. The Meridian ships reacted with practiced efficiency, bringing weapons online and shields to maximum. But they were reacting to a threat they'd never prepared for, using defensive protocols designed to counter technology far inferior to what humanity now possessed. All ships, execute attack pattern avalanche, Admiral Torres commanded. Neutralize their ability to fight back, but minimize casualties. We're here to win freedom, not start a genocide. The Ghost Fleet moved with devastating precision, their quantum AI networks coordinating attacks faster than organic minds could process. Meridian shields, designed to stop relatively primitive human weapons, proved useless against quantum-phased energy beams and graviton torpedoes. On the lunar surface, Colonel Kumar led his Marine teams into action. Quantum-enhanced combat suits allowed them to breach Meridian facilities before the aliens even realized they were under attack. Remember your training, he transmitted to his forces. Secure the command centers. Minimal casualties. Dr. Chen monitored the battle from her control center, watching as her technologies performed beyond even her optimistic projections. The quantum fields are holding stable even under combat conditions, she reported to Torres. They can't track our ships even when we're firing. High Overseer Kilax watched in horror as the impossible unfolded before him. Human ships appeared from nowhere, using weapons that shouldn't exist, coordinating with inhuman precision. How? He demanded of no one in particular. How did they hide this from us? The answer, of course, was pride. The Meridians had been so certain of their superiority, so convinced of humanity's primitive nature, that they'd never thought to look deeper than the surface. They'd watched humans build primitive fusion reactors, never realizing they were watching a carefully crafted performance. Multiple Meridian vessels disabled, Lieutenant Chen reported. Their command and control network is in chaos. They can't coordinate an effective defense. Commander Patel nodded grimly. Continue the attack pattern. Drive them back from Earth. Let them see exactly what humanity is capable of. In the darkness of space, the battle unfolded with terrible beauty. Meridian ships, their supposedly superior technology proving worthless against human innovations, fell back in disarray. Some fought desperately, their crews too proud or too shocked to surrender. Others, seeing the futility of resistance, powered down their systems in surrender. Dr. Amara Okafor's voice carried across the quantum network, colonial forces reporting successful takeovers of all Meridian outposts. The colonies are free. High Commander Vexrel watched his mighty fleet crumble before what should have been impossible opponents. All ships, fall back. Regroup at. His transmission cut off as a precision strike from the Prometheus disabled his flagship's primary systems. This is Admiral James Torres to all Meridian forces. The transmission went out on all frequencies. Your fleet is disabled. Your colonies are lost. Your choice is simple. Surrender and face justice for your crimes against humanity, or force us to demonstrate just how far beyond you we've really gone. Throughout the solar system, Meridian crews looked at sensor readings they couldn't comprehend, watching human ships phase through their strongest shields, seeing weapons they'd thought impossible tear through their defenses. 3 centuries of assumed superiority crumbled in less than an hour. In his command station, High Overseer Kilax finally understood. The humans hadn't been submissive. They'd been patient. They hadn't been primitive. They'd been preparing. Every restriction the Meridians had placed on human development had only driven them to innovate in ways the Confederation had never imagined possible. As the battle wound down, Commander Patel stood on her bridge, watching the disabled Meridian ships drift powerless in space. "Send in the boarding teams," she ordered. "Let's introduce ourselves properly to our former overlords." The Ghost Fleet had risen, and with it, humanity's true place in the galaxy. The time for hiding in shadows was over. The time for freedom had begun. Breaking the chains, news of humanity's uprising spread across the galaxy at faster-than-light speeds, carried by quantum communications that the Meridian Confederation hadn't known humans possessed. The impossible had happened. Earth's primitive species had not only developed technology surpassing their oppressors, but had concealed it for years while building a fleet that had crushed the Confederation's finest ships. Admiral Torres stood in the captured Meridian Command Station, looking down at the Earth through the same viewport where High Overseer Kallax had once sneered at humanity's perceived weakness. "Status report," he commanded through the quantum network. Commander Patel's response came instantly. "The Sol system is secure. Meridian forces have either surrendered or been neutralized. But, sir, we're detecting massive fleet movements from multiple Confederation sectors. They're mobilizing everything they have." "As expected," Torres replied. "They can't afford to let news of their defeat spread. It would shatter the myth of Meridian superiority that holds their empire together." In the depths of the Himalayan complex, Dr. Chen worked frantically with her team, pushing their quantum technology even further. "The Meridians will adapt," she warned during the emergency council session. "They've seen our technology now. They'll be looking for ways to counter it." "Let them try," Colonel Kumar interjected, his hologram flickering slightly. "Every counter they develop will be based on what they think they know about our capabilities. They still haven't seen everything we can do." Dr. Okafor, now coordinating with resistance movements throughout Confederation space, shared critical intelligence. "Multiple subjugated species are watching Earth closely. They're waiting to see if we can truly break the Meridian's power. We're becoming a symbol of hope." The Confederation's response came swiftly and massively. Thousands of warships emerged from FTL travel at the edges of the Sol system, surrounding Earth's territory in a display of overwhelming force. The message was clear: submit or be destroyed. Supreme Admiral Zixferen, the highest military authority in the Confederation, transmitted his ultimatum. "This insurrection ends now. Surrender your fleet and leadership for judgment, or we will be forced to demonstrate the true might of the Meridian Confederation." Commander Patel, watching the enemy fleet's arrival from the bridge of the Prometheus, allowed herself a small smile. "They still think this is a local rebellion. They haven't realized this was just Phase 1. Throughout supposedly secured Meridian space, humanity's hidden colonies and bases suddenly revealed themselves. The Ghost Fleet hadn't been concentrated solely in the Sol system. While the Confederation gathered its forces for a decisive strike at Earth, human ships appeared in dozens of key systems, striking at vital infrastructure and military installations. "Operation Shatterpoint is in effect," Torres announced across the quantum network. "All cells, execute your objectives. Show them what happens when you underestimate humanity." The Meridian Response Fleet found itself caught in an impossible tactical situation. The human vessels they'd come to destroy simply weren't there when their weapons fired, appearing somewhere else to strike with devastating precision. Quantum AI systems coordinated attacks across light years of space, predicting and countering Meridian tactics before they could be executed. Lieutenant Chen, coordinating the defense of Earth, reported, "Their tactical predictability is actually astounding, sir. They've relied on superior technology for so long, they've forgotten how to innovate in battle." In the Confederation capital, the High Council faced a crisis unlike any in their history. Reports flooded in from across their territory, human forces appearing from nowhere, striking critical targets, and vanishing before defenders could respond. Worse, their subject species were watching, learning, and in some cases, actively supporting the human rebellion. "How can they be everywhere at once?" Supreme Admiral Zixferen demanded, watching his carefully planned containment operation fall apart. Their ships appear and disappear at will, their weapons ignore our strongest defenses, and their coordination defies physical limits. The answer, of course, was that humanity had spent centuries not just advancing technology, but fundamentally reimagining what was possible. While the Meridians had focused on incremental improvements to existing systems, humans had pursued paths their oppressors had dismissed as impossible. Dr. Chen's voice carried across the command network. Quantum field stability at 100% across all theaters. The Confederation's attempts to detect our ships are based on fundamental misunderstandings of how our technology works. They're looking for distortions in spacetime that simply aren't there. Colonel Kumar's Marine teams, striking from seemingly empty space, secured key Meridian facilities across multiple systems. Their ground forces are in complete disarray, he reported. They never developed effective counters to quantum-enhanced infantry because they never imagined it could exist. Commander Patel, leading a task force deep into Confederation space, encountered something unexpected. Ships from other subjugated species, rising up to join the human rebellion. "Admiral," she reported, "we're being approached by vessels from the Arcturian Alliance. They're offering their full support to our cause." The message was clear. Humanity's uprising had become something much larger. Species that had suffered under Meridian rule for generations saw in Earth's resistance a chance for their own liberation. The carefully maintained hierarchy of the Confederation began to crack and crumble. Dr. Okafor coordinated with these new allies, sharing carefully selected technologies and tactical data. "We're not just breaking our own chains," she told the Council. "We're showing every species in the galaxy that resistance is possible, that innovation and determination can overcome even the most entrenched oppression." High Overseer Kilax, now under house arrest in the former Meridian Command Station, watched Earth's forces systematically dismantle the empire he had served his entire life. "You could have revealed yourselves at any time," he said to his human guards. "Why wait so long?" The answer was simple. Humanity hadn't just wanted to win a battle, they had wanted to ensure their victory would be absolute and irreversible. They had waited until their technology, their strategies, and their resolve had developed to the point where the Meridian Confederation couldn't possibly recover from their defeat. As the combined forces of humanity and their new allies pushed deeper into Confederation space, Admiral Torres received a priority transmission. The Meridian High Council was requesting terms for surrender. The message came not through official channels, but through the same quantum network they had failed to detect for so long. The chains were breaking, not just for humanity, but for every species that had suffered under Meridian dominion. The galaxy was about to change, and humanity would help shape its new form, not through oppression, but through the same innovation, determination, and cooperation that had won them their freedom. Dawn of a new era. 1 year after humanity's uprising, the Great Hall of the former Meridian High Council chamber hosted a gathering unprecedented in galactic history. Representatives from over 30 formerly subjugated species sat alongside human leaders, their presence a testament to how completely the old order had been overturned. Admiral Torres stood at the podium, his voice carrying across the vast chamber. "We gather here not to create a new empire, but to ensure that no species will ever again suffer under the dominion of another. The Galactic Concordat we signed today enshrines the principles of self-determination, mutual defense, and shared progress." Commander Maya Patel, now Fleet Admiral of the Combined Defense Forces, watched from her position among Earth's delegation. The past year had been challenging. Preventing the collapse of galactic civilization after the Confederation's fall had required as much skill and dedication as winning the war itself. "The quantum network is stable across all member worlds," Lieutenant Chen reported from his station. "Every species now has equal access to the communication infrastructure. The age of technological suppression is over." Dr. Chen, whose innovations had helped make victory possible, had spent the past year working with scientists from other species, sharing knowledge that the Meridians had hoarded or suppressed. "It's remarkable," she told the assembled delegates. "Each species brings unique perspectives, new ways of thinking about problems we thought we had solved. Together, we're advancing faster than any of us could alone. In a secure chamber deep beneath the council building, Dr. Okafor met with representatives from the former Meridian leadership. High Overseer Kilax, now serving as a liaison between his people and the New Order, looked notably humbled. Your people's greatest mistake, Okafor explained, wasn't in conquering others. It was in assuming that suppressing their development would keep you safe. Instead, you created a galaxy of species who learned to innovate in ways you never imagined possible. Colonel Kumar, overseeing the transformation of the former Confederation military bases into joint training facilities, had discovered something surprising. The Meridians weren't actually superior technologically, he reported to the Combined Military Council. They just stopped advancing centuries ago, convinced they had reached the peak of possible development. Their stagnation became their weakness. The Arcturian delegation, whose support had helped turn the tide of the war, presented their findings on the former Confederation structure. They maintained power through artificial scarcity. The Arcturian speaker explained, keeping subject species dependent on them for advanced technology, while never allowing them to develop their own solutions. Commander Patel, standing at the viewport where she had once faced down the Meridian inspection fleet, reflected on how much had changed. The ships visible through the crystalline window represented dozens of species, their designs as varied as their cultures. Humanity's quantum stealth technology had been adapted and modified by their allies, each adding their own innovations to the original breakthrough. We're tracking a 30% increase in technological development across all member worlds, Lieutenant Chen reported during the Economic Council session. Free exchange of ideas and resources is creating a renaissance of innovation. The Meridian's suppression had been holding back everyone's potential. In the quantum labs beneath the Himalayas, now an international research center, Dr. Chen worked alongside scientists from across the galaxy. Each species sees different possibilities, she explained to visiting dignitaries. The Arcturians discovered applications of quantum field theory we never imagined. The Centaurians revolutionized our understanding of AI consciousness. Together, we're pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Admiral Torres, walking through the halls of the council building with Dr. Okafor, paused to watch ships landing at the spaceport below. Sometimes I wonder if we did the right thing, he admitted, revealing everything at once, changing the galaxy so dramatically. We did what was necessary, Okafor replied. The Meridian system was unsustainable. Someone would have eventually broken free, and the collapse might have been far more devastating. At least this way, we could help guide the transition. In orbit above Earth, the Prometheus had become a symbol of the new era. Its quantum stealth systems had been modified to incorporate innovations from 5 different species, making it a testament to what cooperation could achieve. Commander Patel had insisted that the ship maintain its role as a flagship, but now it served as a guardian of peace rather than a weapon of war. The last of the holdout systems has signed the Concordat, Lieutenant Chen reported. The entire known galaxy is now unified under the principles of mutual cooperation and shared advancement. The Meridians, stripped of their empire, but not their dignity, were slowly finding their place in the new order. We forgot what it meant to strive, to innovate, Kilax admitted during a council session. Watching other species advance beyond us has been humbling, but perhaps that humbling was necessary. Dr. Chen's quantum network now connected the galaxy in ways the Confederation never could have achieved. Instead of using technology to control and suppress, it became a medium for sharing knowledge and fostering understanding between species. The very systems that had hidden humanity's advancement now helped ensure transparency and cooperation. As the first year of the new era drew to a close, humanity found itself in an unexpected position. They had fought for freedom, but achieved something far greater. They had become catalysts for a fundamental transformation of galactic society. Their victory had not just broken chains, it had opened doors to possibilities that no single species could have imagined alone. We stand at the dawn of a new era, Admiral Torres addressed the final session of the year. Not as rulers or conquerors, but as equals among equals. Our strength lies not in domination, but in cooperation. Not in suppression, but in sharing. The galaxy is entering an age of unprecedented discovery and advancement, and we will face its challenges together. The Ghost Fleet that had once hidden in shadows now patrolled openly, its ships crewed by members of all species. The quantum technology that had won humanity's freedom now connected a galaxy of equals. And Earth, once dismissed as a primitive backwater, had helped forge a new path forward, one where innovation, cooperation, and determination would shape the future of all species. The stars themselves seemed brighter somehow, as if reflecting the hope of a galaxy finally free to reach its full potential. The age of suppression was over. The age of discovery had begun.